Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. It is that time again where we take a break from questing and have a day filled with nothing but party banter. Enjoy!
Mages and Templars. Mages and Templars. Rebel mages really screwed this place up good, huh?
The Mage Rebellion has turned this place upside down, hasn't it?
I thought mages in Orlais didn't fight. You're more than capable with combat magic.
Mages in Orlais do not fight without permission, my dear. Some are better at gaining permission than others.
Sera, how did you get an entire beehive into Colin's training dummy?
I don't know, can't remember.
Wait, do you think it was that magic Cole does? Like he helped you and then made you forget?
What? No? Piss, now it's in my head. Why'd you say that? You ruined a good beehive. Arse.
You doing all right, Dorian? I know family stuff can be rough.
What would you know about it? True Qunari don't have families.
Burning out so hard you have to leave everything you've known and start over. I might know a bit. Takes a tough man to do it too, so good on you, you big old fop.
Yay, good on me.
These are the types of fights I love.
Really?
Every day back in Saharan, I waited for a dagger in the back. Is that civilian secretly working for the Vince? Or is she just scared because she's caught between us and them? Here, the bad guys practically have signs. It's so much easier.
Well, it is simpler, I'll give you that.
Not as many ships as I expected.
Have you considered incorporating headbutts into your fighting style?
Oh, yes. Tried it a few times. No luck.
Too easy for enemies to defend against?
A little. I'm big enough that I've got to lean down to make it work on most people. You see it coming. I did it once with a charge, though. Got a vent on each horn.
Nicely done.
Yes. Except for the part where they were both hanging from my head yelling for the rest of the fight.
Point taken, so to speak.
Well, this outfit is ruined. I'll have to get it replaced.
So, Solas, you go into the Fade on purpose when you dream? Just to hang out?
Yes. The Fade holds a trove of memories to explore. Spirits know secrets lost to this world.
Yeah, but they're spirits. You can't treat them like people.
Would many not say the same of Qunari?
No. Because Qunari don't go around trying to possess people and turn them into abominations.
Instead, you conquer them and turn them into servants of the Qun.
Oh, come on! Sera, I had a thought. The next time we run into a line of enemies, I'll pick you up and throw you.
Get off.
No, this could work. I loft you over the front ranks. You land behind them to flank. Mayhem ensues.
I can't fly, you daft tit.
Think of the mayhem, Sera. Mayhem.
I'd get a wedge up something fierce.
Look, you and Varric are the only ones small enough, and he's pretty dense.
We'll do some bloody presses.
What an excellent place to be murdered and left in a dank hole.
By the way, Varric, you write some nice fight scenes.
Well, thank you. I'm surprised you think so. They're not exactly realistic.
I figured that out when the good guy did a backflip while wearing a chainmail shirt.
And that didn't bother you?
Back in Saharan, I fell on a guy who tried to stab me in the gut. I felt the blade chip as it went through my gut and hit my back ribs. But I was alive and on top. I sawed through the armor on the rebel's neck, back and forth until it went red. I don't need a book to remind me that the world is full of horrible crap.
Impossible swashbuckling it is.
My darling Bastien has a house on the coast. Not this one, of course. A decent one.
You know one thing I miss about Parvalin? The bananas. They're bigger, less squishy, and bendier.
You're talking about the fruit, right? Please tell me you're talking about the fruit.
It smells a bit of dead fish, don't you think, my dear?
Hey, Sera, you see the blonde a few towns back? She was easy on the eyes.
The one with the huge ditties.
No. Well, yes, but what about the fancy bow on her apron, dangling all long and sassy, so someone could ease it open with one slow pull? You have to see the little details to get the whole person, Sera. There's a woman behind those tits.
Yeah, way behind.
You know, I met the Arishok.
Oh, the old one? Man, he had an impressive rack. The new Arishok doesn't have horns at all. Usually means they're destined for something special.
I met him too. The only thing they seem to have in common is a tendency to burn things.
That pretty much sums up the Antam, yes. Damp just gets in everywhere, doesn't it? Hey, Sera, a few fights back, did you hit someone through my horns?
Probably. Great if I did, huh? What, you afraid I'll stick your head by mistake?
What? No, I trust you. I'm just thinking, if you can pull off tricks like that, maybe we can use this. I lock somebody's arms, get my head down, and you go through the horns for his throat.
Ew, you're taking all the fun out of it.
You must see the value in restoring the circles, Cassandra.
Provided they fulfill their purpose. Too many have suffered since the Mage Rebellion began. But we cannot ignore the abuses that prompted it. Without change, we risk repeating the events at Kirkwall.
Or recreating its opposite. An overly lenient circle is a comparable threat. Kirkwall was lamentable, but it was the blithe misuse of power, not restrictions, that led to the first blight.
Sera, I was speaking with Dagnar recently. Did you take some of her tools?
Just the thing that removes the screw bits. I thought I'd put it back. I'll put it back.
Why did you have it in the first place?
Needed it for the hinges.
What hinges?
Like on a door. Don't worry, it's not for you.
That's comforting.
Nothing at all, Bull? No trouble having a Vint behind you?
Hope you like the view.
You can't deny you enjoy butchering my people.
Hey, butchering implies I'm gonna eat 'em. Most Vints are just gristle and fat in a red wine marinade.
Well, that much is true.
You've seen a great deal of battle.
We all have.
Not all. Not like you. You live and breathe war. You understand it. It is home to you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I intended no offense. We have both seen terrible things. We have watched death and destruction render that which we love unrecognizable. It is calming to see something familiar in another.
You spoke of seeing death and destruction. Did you fight in a war?
There are struggles across Tethras at any given time. I doubt you would have heard of it,
An elven skirmish?
in a manner of speaking. And you?
I was a soldier, and well, you know how it is.
I do indeed.
You really believe all this Andraste stuff, Sera?
Well, sure, right?
Then you support the Templars and their treatment of the circles, or that?
That's not Andraste. That's Chantry.
Then you don't support the Chantry.
Of course I do.
All right. So you support the Chantry except for the things that it does, and this makes sense to you?
Is it supposed to? It's belief, innit?
Your uncle misses you, Cassandra.
Picked that up from my head, did you?
No, he wrote you a letter. There was pain on the page.
Stop going into my quarters. How many times must I tell you?
I overheard you at the tavern, Blackwall, asking about the Inquisitor and I.
I was unsure I'd heard correctly.
You have a question? Are your whiskers quivering with curiosity?
I would not pry into the Inquisitor's business.
Are you certain? I can draw diagrams.
No, thank you.
What do you know of my kind, Blackwall?
I know that what comes out of your mouth is the same drivel that comes out of theirs.
It might sound that way to someone who's been clubbed on the head too often.
Careful I don't club you on the head.
That's what I'd expect from your kind.
Why go with iron? Iron is brittle. Why not call yourself the Steel Bull or something?
Steel Bull was already taken by a pit fighter in Antiva City. Thought about Viridian, but it turns out there's 2 exotic dancers in Lomarin who use that one. Identical twins.
Silverite?
Tavern in Rialto.
So iron was the only thing left.
Well, I could have gone into textiles, but that sends the wrong message.
Would you like a silk handkerchief to wipe the mud off your greaves, Lady Vivienne?
It's just mud. Mud bothers me as much as your clumsy mockery, which is to say, not at all.
Well met, Sera.
The waking sea. Somewhere across all that water is Kirkwall.
It's been a while since I was at sea. Traveling to Haven must have been quite the journey.
Between Cassandra's friendly company and Cullen's feelings on sea travel, it was great. How do you like being described, as grizzled or masculine?
Do I really have a choice?
No, I was just being polite. Going with grizzled, then.
Is it true that Kirkwall's Knight Commander became a statue?
Absolutely true. She's still there, bringing an extra dose of horror to Gallows tourists.
No one's moved it. I mean, her.
And make it impossible for children to play Who's Brave Enough to Poke Meredith.
They don't actually do that, do they?
No, no one's brave enough to poke Meredith.
You know, Varric, darling, I read your Hard in Hightown.
You did? Seriously?
Most of the Imperial Court did. It was in fashion a few winters ago.
Just how much gold is my publisher stealing from me?
You made quite the impression at the Winter Palace.
When I punched the wall, perhaps.
Not the most distinguished impression, certainly, but given your discomfort, I expected worse.
I did not realize it took so little to exceed your expectations.
Come, my dear, there's no need to be touchy. You will do far better next time.
You know, I do have to admire you for your poise.
Yes, I imagine you do.
And I look forward to the day when that veneer crumbles.
Look at you, all serious. What do wardens do when there's no blight anyway?
Whatever it takes to keep the world safe.
Like join Inquisition?
If that's what's necessary. Hey, you're here too.
The Inquisition can't be all broody beards like you and Cassandra.
She doesn't have the hair for it.
Oh, I bet she does. Places.
I heard about your organization, Sera. I am impressed.
Is this a trick?
Hardly. But it is an opportunity. You have already divided your group's membership. That is wise. No one cell can betray all your secrets. The next step is to establish a rhythm. When your enemies pursue, you vanish. When they become complacent, you harass them. When they are weak, you strike in earnest.
Where'd you get all this, then?
Do you wish to be unnerved by another tale of my explorations of the Fade? Or do you wish to learn something?
I don't know. Neither?
It is a comfort to have you present on our journeys, Jesika.
You so rarely call me by my name, Solas. Why is that?
Manners, perhaps.
Manners have not held you back on other occasions.
I say what I believe to be true, even if it gives offense to those who prefer the lie. But there is no lie in what you are. Your position is an honorable one, and well earned.
Where do you get all your arrows, Sera? You have hundreds.
From your arse, that's where.
My arse should open up a shop. It's apparently quite prolific. So tell me this, are Navaran cities of the dead actually filled with undead?
Of course. The Mortalitazi lure spirits to possess every corpse buried there.
And then what? Let them wander around willy-nilly?
Only in the abandoned areas. The rest are sealed up in their tombs, I suppose.
Forever? I almost feel bad for them.
After a time, the moaning grates on the nerves. Trust me.
All right, never let it be said I don't pay my debts. Here you are, 5 royals.
I tried to warn you.
I had no idea nugs possessed such creepy little feet, the stuff of nightmares. If you were still a seeker, would you drag me to one of your circles?
I'm not still a seeker.
But you'd do it, even though I'm incredibly charming.
Yes? I would absolutely drag you there, without question.
Care to play another game of cards when we get back to Skyhold, Varric?
Not if it's with your crazy Tevinter rules.
Now, nobody ever died from those. Lately. Incidentally, Cassandra, I'm well aware you lied to me.
I lied to you?
When you said the Mage Rebellion was beyond the power of the Seekers to control. I've since heard your order could have prevented it, but instead led the Templars into war once it started.
It is why I left the Order, yes.
Knee-jerk defense of your former comrades. I quite understand.
So, Sparkler, what do you think of the Inquisition so far?
It's interesting, I'll give you that. An archdemon attacking me as a first.
5 Royal says you'll see something weirder before the day ends.
I don't think I should take that bet.
More hills. Yay!
You know, Varric, I went to Kirkwall once.
Yeah?
Bit of a shithole.
Yeah.
Varric, are you and Cassandra...
What? No. Why would you even ask that?
Truly? Bizarre.
Just because 2 people dislike each other doesn't mean they're about to kiss, Sparkler.
Not according to your books.
Don't mistake me for that hack who wrote Hard and Hightown too. I can spell.
It seems the Ferelden army has chosen to stay clear. For now.
What do you think, Sparkler? 10 Royal says the next thing we run into farts fire.
I'll take that bet. I win either way.
Stay alert. The chaos has made this part of Ferelden more dangerous than ever before.
Does anybody else smell that? Seriously, just me?
Word of what happened in Redcliffe had better not spread.
Oh? Why not?
You think mages will be better off if people know they can change the future?
Ignoring that that's not the case, I suspect people will use any excuse to hate us.
Then you should not give them more.
Did everyone act like this when the sword was invented? Oh, my blushing butt cheeks. Round up everyone who can use these pointy things and lock them away.
It is not the same thing, and you know it.
Why did they come here? It's not safer.
The Vale is girlish here. I've been here before. Then I left.
You have something to say, mage?
If I had something to say, I'd say it.
That's it? I'd expect more from a man who can't stop talking about how clever he is.
And I'd expect no less from a brutish thug.
Better that than a pompous brat.
Such camaraderie.
I apologize, Inquisitor.
Hungry, cold, thirsty, tired, too much, all of them. I want to do more.
It's odd how you've won over so many at Skyhold, Dorian.
You're surprised they haven't all dismissed me as the charming but ultimately wicked Magister.
Never. You're more the spoiled prince, and I question your reasons for being here.
A prince? I've moved up in the world. My reasons for being here are the same as yours, thank you.
I find that difficult to believe.
Perhaps when you get past the simple heuristics that define your world, we'll get along.
Not a sign of civilization anywhere to be seen.
I've often wondered what the average man thinks about mage freedom.
If you really cared, you could ask. Oh, but wait. That would involve talking to dirty commoners like me.
True. So much for that.
I'm going to need a long bath to get the Ferelden stink off.
You caught the eye of a young woman in that last village, Blackwall.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
You're right. She was undoubtedly looking at me. Does the cold not bother any of you, truly?
Dorian, I can't believe you drank that swill at the tavern.
I can't believe they served that swill at the tavern. What is Skyhold coming to?
Then why did you drink it?
I couldn't stop. With each sip, it can't be that bad, can it? Before I knew it, I was analyzing the nuances of its flavor, observing its effect on my nausea. I was in a catatonic trance, fueled by the stench of disgusting dwarven ale.
Or you're a drunkard with terrible taste.
There is that.
How do you get your hair to do that, Dorian? With magic?
With proper hygiene and grooming. Maybe all 3 of you should get acquainted.
It's interesting watching you, Dorian. The way you carry yourself when you use magic.
I am very good at the whole magic thing.
No, it's not that. You find joy in it, not shame, and it shows.
Why be ashamed? Power should be respected, not swept under the carpet.
Something we Southerners need to learn, perhaps?
Maybe you're not a complete moron.
We were having a moment, and now you've ruined it.
The entire country reeks of wet dog. How charming.
Any thoughts on this Herald of Andraste business, Blackwall?
Why?
I just need to know you're capable of higher thought. For my own comfort.
Then you'd be better served giving me a word puzzle.
You'd do a word puzzle if I gave it to you?
Not a chance.
What made the mages come here of all places?
I've always liked Ferelden. It's a straightforward sort of place. Dorian, I would prefer if you stopped referring to me as that hairy lummox.
When did I do that?
The tavern, the smithy, the servants. You said it to the gate guards as we left Skyhold.
That does sound like me.
I understand Loghain is not highly regarded in Ferelden, despite his efforts against the Blight.
Traitor is not an easy title to escape.
He doesn't deny the claims, but I'm not certain he accepts them either.
I wasn't there, Cassandra.
Forgive me. He is your comrade. That was insensitive.
I camped in these hills for 2 weeks when I got here. Me. Camping.
I am very pleased you joined us, Warden Blackwall.
The honor is mine, Lady Seeker.
We need strong, righteous warriors. Now more than ever.
Righteous? High praise, Cassandra. Many wardens have hardly lived righteous lives.
True. Yet you give yourself to an order that would die to protect others. It is never too late to do better, and become more than what you are.
That is the hope. You joined the Seekers when you were young, did you not?
I wanted to join the Templars, but was given to the Seekers.
So you knew what you wanted, even if you didn't get it.
I wanted vengeance at first, but I discovered a deeper joy in duty.
That's good. Some of us take much longer to find our place.
And some never find it. We are both lucky. And how did you join the Wardens?
It's the usual story.
There is no such thing as a usual story.
A tavern, a chance meeting, a senior warden who saw worth in a worthless man. I'm not alone.
There is more to this. You just don't want to tell it.
No, you don't want to hear it. I'm sorry about your apprentice.
Daniel had raw skill. Everyone could see it. He knew it himself.
Quite a handful, then.
You would think so, but no. He was attentive, to the point of irritation at times. He was under the impression I had something to teach him.
Sounds like a fine young man.
He was. How do you stand the Skyhold stables?
They're quiet. I like having time to myself.
I can't imagine finding quiet time in that stench.
They're only horses.
They're not horses. They're dung monsters with hooves and tails.
I notice you seem to focus yourself before battle, Cassandra.
I still my mind and focus my thoughts on the Maker. I ask for his guidance. I ask to be reforged into an instrument of his will. What about you? How do you center yourself?
I tell myself, it's them or you, and if it's you, be damn sure to take the bastards with you.
Well, that's...
Crude, yes, but it works. What are you staring at?
Your head. So many tangles, knots. And that's just on the inside. You need a hairbrush.
What does Corypheus hope to accomplish? Dorian, you must know.
Let me guess, because he's Tevinter.
Well, you have better insight into the Tevinter mind than anyone else here.
Darling Cassandra, Corypheus is from a Tevinter that's been dead and gone 1,000 years. Whatever nostalgic vision he's selling, it has little to do with my Tevinter. Or his followers, frankly.
And that wraps up today's Party Banter video. Thank you, as always, so very much for watching. Please do keep yourselves safe, and I will see you again tomorrow with another new Dragon Age Inquisition video.